Okay. Well, listen, you might not make money in a week, 2 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, even, maybe even a year. But if you stick with it long enough and you're willing to learn every day and you are coachable, you will succeed in sales. It's just how it is. And listen, the better you get, the more you will get paid.
Ladies and gentlemen, today I am here with someone that is very, very, very special to me and to our business as a whole. This is one of the pioneers of our business, Sal. He actually joined our business. What's going on? He actually joined our business at exactly the same time that Mike, literally right after Mike joined our business, when we were still in the friggin' basement, my parents' basement, when we were first laying the foundations of our company. Sal joined in blind faith. And there was one thing that we did very early on in the company that forced Sal to join our team full time because he was going to join for part time, but we sucked him into full time like a fucking vacuum. And it's just been upward trajectory ever since. So, Sal,
Yep.
do you want to tell them the story quickly of like how you and I actually met in the first place, and then we'll dive into further?
Oh my God, there's a
Because
lot.
that's what
Well,
got you sucked into full time, bro.
yeah. Um, well, I was so basically originally after high school, I wanted to go into a trade. So I was going to do HVAC. I was going to trade school for maybe 2 months, dropped out of that. A month after I dropped out of that, I ended up started working at a restaurant. Then from there, I was just like looking around, I was doing research, like just diving into like the rabbit hole, figuring out about how to make money online, just going down that whole rabbit hole. Ended up seeing my good friend Mike, who I basically grew up with. I know him since I was like 10 years old, probably. Saw he posted something. He posted like this thing that Luke was like taking on students and he was going to teach them on how to run their own business, how to start their own marketing agency. Now, I never met Luke in person, excuse me, but I knew of him because he had like a podcast going around and it had some good traction. He kind of went a little viral on TikTok and whatnot. So I knew of him, but I never met him personally. Long story short, I was like, you know what? I don't know this kid, but from the looks of it, from like his social media account, he kind of looks credible. It looks like looks like you knew what you were doing. I saw you were working with local businesses, doing content, doing marketing for them. I'm like, you know what? What do I have to lose? I'm 19 years old, don't have a full-time job. I mean, I was working at a restaurant, but not a serious full-time job.
Yeah.
Ended up reaching out to Luke. I'm like, hey, bro, I see you're doing this course or whatever it was. I wanna learn what you do. Sent him, I think it was like $1,000, right? From there, I ended up trying to basically follow through the course, ended up going through some stuff like some personal family issues. Luke reached out to me. He's like, hey, Sal, I know I'm trying to teach you how to build your own business right now, but listen, why don't you do this? Why don't you come into my business? I'll teach you sales. So then one day you can go off and do your own company or go do whatever else you want to go do after like you taught me sales and all that
Yeah.
stuff. Like, you know what? Screw it. What do I have to lose?
Right.
And I'm working for Luke for about 3 days. We really hit it off. It was a great vibe. It was me, Luke, this kid named Doug, and then Mike, of course. We were all in Luke's basement every day, going there 9 to 5, sometimes later, calling every day, just cold calling, learning sales in the trenches,
Yep.
getting shit on, getting told to go fuck myself multiple times. I don't know if I could curse on this, but
Yeah, yeah, you can.
it was great. Probably some of the best memories of my life, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. And literally a week after meeting Luke, like in person, face to face, and obviously I knew Mike for years, Luke's like, Sal, you know what? I'm bringing you on the company trip. So me, Mike,
We,
Luke,
bro,
there
and
you
you know what's
go.
so funny, Sal? I don't mean to interrupt you at this point, bro, but like at this point, guys, just so you know, we weren't even a company. So we just had
Yeah.
pure blind faith. Like we were so small and we had almost nothing figured out. But I was like, you know what? If this is gonna work long term, let's kick this off with an experience that no one's ever gonna forget. So we said, fuck it. Me and Daryl had an idea because my parents at the time, mind you, we were young at this point. I was, I think, 17 or 18. My parents were going to Florida to visit some family. And they had a couple extra tickets because my family had been flying in and out a lot at that point. They had tickets for two people. So I was thinking, I was like, okay, tickets for two people. So me and Dara are basically flying for free because we weren't making a ton of money at this point. I'll just cover everything for Mike and Sal to start and fuck it. Like, let's just go have a company trip. It's basically like I would have been buying my own tickets. So we just said, screw it. And fucking, we went out to Orlando, Florida. So you can pick it up. You give them a little,
Oh yeah, yeah. So we go to Florida. mind you, I only really know Luke for like about a week, but whatever. We're like, screw it. We're going to Florida. We take the trip. We touch down. First couple days, we're just like working out, hitting the pool and stuff. And some other stuff happened that I don't even think I could talk about on this podcast because it might land me in a cell. But stuff went down on the trip. We all became good friends. A lot of crazy stuff happened.
A lot of
If I
we
told the
went
whole if I said what happened on that trip, I'd probably be here for like an hour just talking about the trip.
we
But
went
anyway,
to the same the same club every night for like fucking 5 nights in a
yeah,
row.
exactly. Clubs, out to eat.
Bro, we weren't even supposed to be in the club. None of us were 21. It was hilarious, bro. It was probably one of the funniest trips. Looking back, like that's the kind of thing you never forget. It was just
Yeah.
probably one of the most hilarious experiences of my whole life looking back. But long story short, that was the first week that Sal and I had met each other. But that was like kind of how we kicked it off. But the funny part was Sal still had that part-time job working at the restaurant at the
Oh
time.
my, oh my God. I feel bad too. I don't even want to talk about that because we still go to eat at the restaurant. But
Nah,
they don't really care anymore. I'm cool with the manager now. I went in there
yeah.
today, shook his hand.
No, it's good people. It's good people, but obviously you knew you were like fuck it. You were like you're gonna work and you're gonna work
Yeah.
hard, and it kind of
I
is what it is.
I basically didn't really give a notice, and I was kind of like, "Hey, I'm sick." Meanwhile, I was on a trip, and I didn't really exactly know when I'd be coming back, and like stuff just kicked off, and like things were moving fast, so I ended up kind of just didn't I didn't leave that job in the proper way. Like I should have put in 2 week
Yeah,
notice. It was kind of like young, stupid decision.
bro, it
But like
happens.
now, I'm cool with the manager. I'm cool with all the
Yeah,
employees. I went there the other day to eat because it's a great restaurant.
bro, as I am too. I go there every fucking day. But you know what I mean?
But
Like it was just it
I
was
was
a
also
fun.
at the time too, like in the middle of all this, I was going through a lot of like personal issues. So, and they knew that at the restaurant, like they knew what was going on with me,
Yeah,
dealing with like the loss of a family member. A bunch of stuff was going on. So it was just a lot
yeah.
of different things. I'm with this group of kids that I don't even know really. Stuff was going on with my family,
It's
job,
crazy.
and then it just kind of went off from there. And then
Yeah,
we touched back down in New Jersey. And then every day for like what was it, 6 months or something, 7 months, just every day in your parents' basement, just
yeah,
cooling, working, just
yep.
get
Hitting the
leads,
gym.
trying to make something work.
That was it. And that's where everything really started. That was like the foundations of our company. We kicked it off with that trip and then we said we're going to come back from this trip and fucking grind and build this business. And it's funny because at the time we put on a sign, we still had our company named Functional Launch, which is how our business is legally incorporated. And we put on the sign Functional Launch 50K, inferring like we're going to hit 50K a month because we weren't even at
Right.
50K a month. At that point, we were so small. We were probably at like maybe $15,000 a month. We were super small. And we came back, and now in hindsight, it's like a year and change. Now our company does over, well over $200,000 a month. So it happened quick. And Sal was a big part of a lot of that growth that actually happened inside of our business and inside of our company. So we're grateful for that. And that's why Sal's in the position he's in today. He's doing very well. He's not going to reveal numbers, but he's got himself a nice fucking Audi, as Mike did. So things are going well. We'll just say things are going well. We'll just kind of leave it open ended, up to
Nice
everyone's
little watch.
interpretation.
Nice little watch.
Yeah.
All four of us have I just thought about that. All four of us have nice watches. Me, you, Mike, and Dario.
All four of us have Rolexes. So just know anyone that was part of the that original group has done very well, right? So that's just kind of how it's played out. But what's interesting, Sal, is that now as we're scaling and as we're expanding even more, because that's what we constantly do, we're constantly evolving the business. We never just sit there and we're like, oh, we're happy where we're at. You know how we work. It's every day. We're like, hey, listen, we got to grow bigger. We got to go from 200,000 a month to a million a month. From 200, like we have bigger numbers in mind because we want to keep this whole thing growing because we are of the mindset that if businesses don't grow, they die. Well, now we're bringing on new salespeople and bringing salespeople in. You went through our sales training. Like you went through the sales training that I created, all the pre-recorded videos. You joined all the weekly calls. You went through all of that. Now, you're a closer at this point. So just so you guys understand, Sal has worked his way up from outbound salesperson to management to now inbound closer, which is one of the highest positions you can even have inside of our business right now, which is also the most lucrative opportunity where you can make the most money. So, Sal, let
Yep.
me ask you a question. You decided not to go to college. On a
Right.
scale of 1 to 10, how good of a decision has that been for you in terms of how things have played out for your career?
20 out of 10. I
I
knew
feel
immediately.
that.
Everyone around me, all my teachers, oh, you're not going to college, or oh yeah, he's just doing trade school, whatever. Everyone around me, they either are in debt, in college, partying, not doing anything
Yeah.
with the career, broke on top of it. And
Yep.
yeah, no, I definitely don't regret not going to college. Best decision, one of the best decisions I've ever made in my entire life, easily.
Yep. Now, Sal, when you were coming out, I know obviously, and we're not going to bash, obviously, we're not going to talk specifics, but you were approached by different people that had some kind of sales offer, be it real estate, be it different markets, it doesn't
Yep.
matter, right? You had the opportunity to go into multiple industries. I think you told me MCA, insurance, real estate, like there were different avenues that you could have gone down. Why did you settle on sales for a marketing agency and working with us and this team as opposed to continuing to go down those rabbit holes? Why'd you decide to sell for our
Look,
crew?
it wasn't like I went into it looking for a sales job. I didn't really know what sales even was. I mean, of course I know what it is, but I didn't really know what came with it. I just wanted to make money. So any type of offer or job that I saw was a potential opportunity I would take. So for example, this one guy, he reached out to me to come in the city and do sales. It was like for MCA or like funding. You would like fund money for businesses. You would just cold call guys all day, other business owners. The vibe in the office just really wasn't it for me. I just didn't feel like it was the right fit. I just looked around. I'm like, what am I doing here? It was a commission-based sales job as well. I just ended up leaving after a couple of days. I texted the owner like, "Hey, this isn't for me. Whatever." Then I've been approached by like a couple of real estate or not real estate, a couple like life insurance people where they have like their own agency. Then they'll have people like selling life insurance. At the time when I was actually looking to do that, I was still in high school, so it just didn't make sense. I was still
Mhm.
in my senior year, so I really wasn't looking to take on something full time or something that's serious yet. And then with us, it kind of just happened. Like things fell into place. We obviously vibed together pretty well.
Yeah.
He told me upfront what it was going to be, like pay wise, structure wise, commission wise, what you were really looking for me, and then it just worked out. I stuck with it.
Yeah, I feel like things
If I
things
went,
end.
I'll say this. I don't. Yes, the vehicle you're in matters, but if I went into life insurance sales and I really put my head down and stuck with it for 2 years, I would have came out with something. Like it really doesn't matter what
Yeah.
you're doing. It matters. Yeah, the vehicle counts, obviously, but it matters how hard you're willing to work and how much you are able to actually commit into something.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I'm of that mindset too. Now, there's a lot of different industries, obviously, that you can sell for. Inside of our business, we offer recurring commissions, right? Which is something that a
Yeah.
lot of agencies don't really like give and a lot of people don't offer up. And I heard from Brandon and Marco and Zach and from so many other guys that that was like a big selling point for them. It's that they get a piece of the deal every month. You got some of your first deals in 2023. Those deals still pay you to this day. So if you look at some of
Right.
the lifetime commissions that you've had, some of these deals have been worth well over $5,000 in commission off singular deals for you, and even more than that. So, in terms of kind of how that works with the recurring commission model, do you want to give like a brief overview of kind of how it works for someone that might be considering a sales position with us or thinking about taking our sales training to then potentially get hired by our agency?
Sure. So you're either going to be a cold caller, which is basically where you just give people phone calls, try to book appointments with them. You're either
And
going
that's
to
likely where they're going to start. That's
exactly.
where
So
you're going to
you
start.
if you're watching this video, that's probably where you're going to start at. So basically, let's say Luke, he is a business owner, but let's say I call him and I'm like, "Hey, I want to help you get 30 more clients for your marketing agency." Luke's like, "Okay, I'll hear you out." And let's say I book a Zoom call with him. So I set up the meeting, I send him the Zoom link. The date and time is in the calendar
Mhm.
for his calendar, whatever that may be, right? So that meeting is set up. I set that meeting. Then if a closer, okay, let's say Joey, let's say he closes that deal. Meanwhile, I just set up the meeting. Let's say Joey closes the deal. I'll get a piece of that deal every month because we work month to month with all of our clients until that person drops off as a client. So if Luke is, if we're, if whatever, if Joey closed Luke to actually do his marketing for a year straight, then the appointment setter would get that commission every month for a
Every
year.
month.
Yep.
Yep, beautiful, beautiful. And that's exactly kind of how it works. Now, we've been seeing so many fucking people, like so many people bounce industry to industry. Oh, what do I sell? Should I sell this? Should I sell that? Should I sell this? Should I sell that? And then what a lot of salespeople do is, I've said this, they offer hop. So they'll go from like, okay, I'm selling this. Now I'm selling this. Now I'm selling this. I'm selling this guy's course. Now I'm selling this
Yeah.
guy's whatever it is. And they basically have to hop across different offers because what happens in the course industry is offers dry up. So let's say, for
Right.
example, you're teaching someone how to make money online through stock trading, and your personal brand is popping. And I'm a creator, and I hire a closer to close people on my high ticket offer. The
Right.
problem with that is that once that creator is not popping so much anymore and that person's course product is now no longer in style, it's going to fizzle out. Now, the thing with working B2B and working for a service-based business like ours through the marketing agency services that we sell is that first off, you get recurring revenue. Through selling course products, you're never going to get that. Impossible because it's a one-time sale. So you get recurring revenue, that's first and foremost. Second off, the ticket is higher. So the total commission is higher. I'll explain why. If you sell someone's course, which by the way, let's say one of the most expensive courses you could buy is $7,000. Okay. Even if your commission's 10% on that deal, what's 10% of 7,000? 700 bucks, right? So you're getting a one-time fee of 7 grand, excuse me, of 700 bucks. If you
Yep.
sell that offer 5 days a week, Monday to Friday, you make $3,500 a week. Now, granted, that's a lot of money. Okay. It's about $14,000 a month. Now, what happens if you stop selling next month? You stop getting paid,
Yep.
right? So your income goes from 14,000 a month to $0 a month. Whereas when you go work for a real business, like a service-based business like ours, where we work with wedding and event venues, when we sell a marketing service, that business is going to need our marketing services for years to come. So we don't sell services that dry up. We sell services that have been around for a long time that are predictable. And what that means is you might make a little bit less money in the short term, but your long-term return is fucking tremendous. I think about where you're going to be when you're 26, 27, where Mike is going to be, where Joey's going to be. You guys are all going to be making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, if not close to $1 million a year, easily, easily. And that's just realistic based on the numbers. I mean, you do the
Right.
math, you see what the earnings are month over month, year over year, and you can scale to that point. And that's what I've been thinking of. And it's like, holy crap, there's not many industries that give you that level of leverage over your income. What happens with a lot of people is they'll start making a certain amount of money. They might be making $10,000 a month and they might be selling real estate. Well, if you sell no real estate the next month, you're not going to make any money. The recurring revenue model is tremendous. And kind of like you said, and this is again, no shame towards the old job, but you were working that old job, you had to give the, 2 weeks notice, whatever it is. And then when you lose that job, you lose all your income. You lose it, right? Whereas in working with us, you get residual commissions, which is fantastic. So you have your income, which is keeping you afloat, which is very nice. And that's part of how we've set it up for everybody. So yeah, bro, it's crazy to see. You've come such a fucking long way. It's insane. Over the past year and a half, it's been nuts. It's been quite the journey. But what would you say, Sal, in terms of someone being hesitant to reach out? Because you really had nothing to lose, right? Well, all due respect, you had nothing to lose. You had no degree, similar to me. You had no real obligation, super serious obligation. So for you, it's like, fuck it. I have nothing going for me anyway. And that was my mentality too. I dropped out of school, I had my GED. I was working in an ice cream store and a breakfast shop. So I'm like, okay, I'm losing $1,000 a week in income and I'm slaving for the $1,000 a week, slaving, working my ass off all week. What do I have to lose trying my own business? I could go back and get jobs like this in a fucking week, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So you were in the same position as me where we had nothing to lose. But maybe someone's watching this and they might feel like there's a bit of risk. They might be like, right now I'm in a position where I'm in college part-time. I don't know if I could do this. Well, in that case, I tell them, look at someone like Sharam. He's stacking commissions consistently, working from friggin' Texas. And if you guys haven't seen that video, go check out Sharam's video and his case study of how many commissions he's been able to add up and how much money he's making monthly residually through selling for our agency. It's crazy. And he's super young, bro. He's super, super young. But what would you tell that person that's a little bit hesitant to reach out? They're a little nervous, they're a little sketched out about our business. They're not sure if it's legit because we hear that all the time too, which is hilarious. But what would you tell that person? What would you tell them?
Listen, I mean, now's the time to do something like this. I mean, if you're when you're 30, 35, and you have a different job and whatever, you're not staying in your parents' house, then you really can't take a risk like this. So it's really up to you. You have to want to do something like this. Nobody's gonna literally force you.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't
100%.
really know what else to say. No, you gotta
Oh,
want
you're
to do it.
right.
You gotta want more for yourself. Listen, if you do it for 6 months and you fall flat on your face, whatever, you're either gonna keep pushing through or you're just gonna go on to the next thing. It's really up to you.
Exactly.
What happens in your life,
100%.
it's completely up to you. I honestly don't feel bad for anyone that has no money or doesn't have anything going for themselves because listen, I have a body, you have a body, we're both breathing, we're both here, but whatever. We'll
Yeah.
have the same chance. Unless you're literally disabled, you're in a
Disabled. Yeah.
wheelchair, you can't do certain stuff, then you have the same opportunity that you have in front of me.
100%. And like, bro, it's that level of agency. It's that level of self-motivation. We talk about that all the time. Like, people that succeed in sales have grit. They're fucking warriors, bro. You have to get shit on all the time. And you have to be okay with literally having the same conversation with someone 6 times in a row. No, 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 no. Yes. Hang up on a Zoom call, get on another one. You're popping in and out of calls. You're on the phone. That's just how it is. And you're having roughly the same conversations every single day. But in that monotony, that's where all the money is made. In that simplicity, that's where all the money is made. People think they need to do these crazy, super extravagant things. They really don't. They need to do basic things for a long period of time so that their own personal stock rises like a stock. Think about it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? That's the analogy I've always given. It's like you are not going to get anywhere without a certain level of dedication. That's why I tell people that are going to take our sales training just like you did, that are going to join our sales team, just like you did. If you are the kind of person that is not okay with making money within the next 60 days, like if you're okay with working the next 2 months and maybe making nothing, you might be a good fit for this business. If you step into this business and if you're like, I need to be making $1,000 a week within a month, you got to go because that's not the position for you. You'll go get the $1,000 a week working at Walmart. And then again, when you quit, you're going to go back to $0. You're also going to have zero room to scale in your income. That's another thing I want to talk about, Sal. What is your room to scale income wise? Do you have a ceiling on how much money you can make per month?
No, I
You can
don't.
make as much money as you want. You can make
Limited.
as much money as you want. You can make as much money as you can actually close. I've never set a cap in our business where once people make a certain amount of money, commissions drop. It's just not how it works. We'll alter our pricing, we'll alter our model, but the residual commission is something that is guaranteed to be fixed in our business. That's not going anywhere. So your potential to scale is as high as you really want it to be, you know? And Mike and you and Joe, you guys are testaments to that. You guys are true testaments to that. So the way that I think about it is if it were me, and I feel like I'm speaking on your behalf right now too, that person that's like, oh, I'm not sure if it's a good fit. You need to be someone that's willing to get shit on, and you need to be someone that's willing to take a risk. Bro, Sharam is a pre-med student. He's
Yeah.
pre-medicine. And he's in here just getting in the field of sales because he's willing to learn something. Like if you go through life like a fucking deer in headlights and you have your head up your ass, it's like, think about it. Without taking this risk, what are you going to do all day anyway? What are you going to do? You're going to watch TV all day? Like there's only so many young years that you have and they fly. Bro, we look at how eclectic the last year and a half was. It flew. It's over. It's gone. A year and a half, just like that, washed. So I think about that and I'm like, damn, that really went by quick. That was a breeze. So another year and a half is going to happen just as quick. Just as quick. It's going to fly. And then we're going to look back and be like, oh shit, where'd all that time go? Well, I want to make sure that in that time we look back and we're like, let's go. We killed that last year and a half. Because for me, when I look back, think of all the crazy shit that we did. You bought a sick ass car. Mike bought a sick ass car. I bought basically my fucking dream cars. We moved into a nice ass apartment. We moved the business out of our parents' basement. We figured out how to start running ads profitably for our business. We scaled our sales team to way bigger than I would have imagined by this point. We got you and Mike fully trained to inbound. You guys are making more income than I could have imagined. Like everything has this last year and a half, you look at it, it's like, oh my God, so much good shit happened in that last year and a half. We're going to do it again. And we're going to do it twice as big as we did in the last year and a half. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
the way that I think about it, bro, is for those people that are hesitant to reach out, if you're not okay with taking a risk, don't join our team because it is a risk. It is a
Exactly.
risk. Yeah.
Exactly.
And if you're easily offended, don't join our team either. Like that's another thing. Our team
If
is
you don't have thick skin, you're not going to last here in sales or in our team in general because you're just not.
yeah, we pick each other apart because a part of the reason we poke fun at each other and we fuck with each other is because we get fucked with all day. Clients mess with us. We hear it all the time. So if you don't have thick skin and if you're not okay with I remember when Mike first started selling, someone told him on the phone, why don't you get a real job? Well, there you go. And now look where he's at right now. So it's like you have to be okay with hearing comments like that and you have to use it as fuel. If you use it as something that's going to negatively like fuel you and like, oh, maybe that person's right. Maybe I should get a real job. You go back to your old habits, you go back to your old life. You're not going to live the kind of life that you want to live. You're not going to unlock that level of freedom that someone like Sal has or anyone on our team actually has financially, geographically, all that stuff. Even for you, you were telling me you might want to go on a trip this summer. You could bring your fucking laptop and close deals on the trip. You can work from where you want. That's
Yeah. Yep.
it's a big piece, bro. It's a huge piece. So, Sal, if you had to give any final remarks to anyone that's watching us, they're thinking about joining our sales training and then potentially getting hired because first they're starting with the sales training. I can't hire everybody. People need to get qualified. But what would you tell them as one final and closing piece of advice before they dive into a career, whether they're already selling and they're thinking about starting to sell for an agency like ours, or whether they're just starting to get into sales? What advice would you give yourself a year and a half ago when you were getting started?
Okay. Well, listen, you might not make money in a week, 2 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, even maybe even a year. But if you stick with it long enough and you're willing to learn every day and you are coachable, you will succeed in sales. It's just how it is. And listen, the better you get, the more you will get paid. So
Bingo.
don't
Bro,
get
I'm with you.
discouraged after 1 week of no results, 2 weeks, 1 month, whatever it is. You have to learn and get better because it's not easy, straight up. It's not easy. You're trying to convince people over the phone to pay you thousands of dollars every month. It's not easy. Not everyone can do it. It's not for everybody too. So if you are a
Yeah,
little bit hesitant and you don't have thick skin, just don't even do it.
bingo.
Don't even sign up. But if you are willing to take a risk and you have a gut feeling that you'd be able to do well, if you are willing to put your head down and work, then what do you have to lose? Give it a shot and make the best out of it. You only live once.
Beautiful, beautiful. Sal, I appreciate you, bro. I'm excited to fucking start building this business even further throughout 2025 and coming into 2026. Me and Sal might go to Colombia, do some fucking heinous things. I don't know. We'll see. We'll
Uh,
see.
all right.
No,
Now we're
no,
talking about
but
that.
listen, I'm just excited to scale the business. That's it, bro. You
Yep.
know,
Absolutely.
maybe another fun trip, but no, we have a lot of good things in the working. And for anyone that's watching this video, if you're thinking about joining a team for this year or for next year or for whatever when that time might be, bro, just jump. Just dive in. The faster you take a leap of faith with blind faith, the better you're going to do. And if you're the kind of person that can live with blind faith because you have self-belief, your life's going to change for the better. So that's what I want to leave everyone with from my side. Sal,
Yep.
proud of all your progress, bro. You're fucking killing it, and we're gonna keep killing it for the rest of the year. That's it.
Yep.
So, all
Good.
right, thank you so much, bro. I'll talk to you, and let's wrap up this workday.
Awesome. Let's do it.
You good?